technical talk, which is on food safety standards, FSSAI licensing and registration process for coffee processing micro unit. For this, I would like to invite Shri Balu Naik Kedavat, Deputy Director, South Region, Hyderabad FSSAI. Sir has obtained his BTech in Biotechnology from JNTU, Hyderabad. Sir has around 14 years of experience in various government departments. He also worked as Assistant Manager at Karnataka Antibiotics Limited and Environmental Engineer at Government of Andhra Pradesh. To his credit, Sir has received Best Environmental Engineer Award and CII National Award for Best Policies in Pollution Control and Food Safety Management in 2014. Sir has also worked as Examiner, Patents and Designs in Indian Patent Office, Chennai. Sir has also served as NIPAM official trainer for the Government of India. Currently, Sir is working as a Deputy Director Technical at the South Region at Food Safety and Standards Authority of India. Welcome you to this webinar, sir.
Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, Vandal. I'll be taking the session regarding the regulatory activities, how the FSI works in the framework. FSI is the apex regulatory body in India. Prior to FSI, there were multiple agencies handled for these regulations by the Prevention of Food Regulation Act, foods and various meat orders. These were handled by various departments of the ministry, multiple departments. So, in order to ensure one nation, one food, the FSI Act came into the year 2006. So, FSI is a autonomous body under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Our main mandate is to ensure the safe food. How we are ensuring safe food, whether state responsibility or it's a central responsibility or the food business manufacturer responsibility. So it is the responsibility of the all. So FSI is acting in a federal system with the central and the state. So central FSI, the main aim is laying down science-based standards. How we have laid down science-based standards. Next slides I'll cover. So these are the activities under the scope of FSI, mainly from farm to fork. The farmers doesn't come under the ambient of FSI, and the animal activities, animal feed, and other things not under the scope of FSI. In future, the ministry is organizing the food products under the feed also comes into the ambient of FSI. So our target is one nation, one food law. The responsibility of the regulator, responsibility of the business operator, and the responsibility of the citizens. So as far as FSI concerned, all over India, we have not more than 5,000 staff. So how we are ensuring the safe food? This is the framework how the FSI works in the state and central. The state designated officers and the central offices also we have in every state. Regional office at Chennai for southern region, and every state we are having the offices, and import stations also we are having the offices. This is the organogram of how the standards are made, prepared based on for the preparation of any standard. How the scientific committee and the scientific advisory committee and food authority. In every standard, suppose if you take the coffee standard, the panel prepared by the beverage panel, where each panel having the 10 members of premier scientists from the various institutes of India, like NIFTAM, NIN, and AIMS, from all the departments, all the institutes of the government, departments will be heading by the panels. So in each panel, 10 members of scientists, they will take the matter into the consideration. Standards are not there in India. We will take the standards from the codex. Then the panel will take the matter into the consideration. What are the standards to be set for various products? So then the scientific committee, we have in India 21 scientific panels, each panel comprising various, suppose beverage panel, cereals panel, meat panels. We have 21 panels. Nowhere in the world Ayush Ahara regulations. In India, prepared the Ayush Ahara regulations and standards. The same way, organic regulations, all these we have panels. Then it goes to the scientific committee. Each scientific committee comprises of all the chairs of the panel and the board of agriculture ministry, the joint secretary level officers from the Ministry of Commerce and the other responsible like animal husbandry who are interlinked with the food safety issues. Then the food authority. Food authority comprises of consumer forum members and the farmer organizations and the joint secretary level officers of the concerned departments and all the chairs of the committee. The central advisory committee comprises of commissioner of the states and the other members, independent members of the committee. So all these scientific panels will take the matter of any products which they want to prepare the standards. So these are the regulations as of now, 21 regulations. This is the scientific committee who covers how the standards are prepared in India. When proposal comes to the panel secretariat at Delhi headquarters, then scientific committee will take the matter. Scientific panel and committee, then it goes to the food authority, then legal, then it goes to the legal vetting for the ministry and WTO. Then again comes to the stakeholder comments. Again the proposal comes to then the panel will take the comments and then goes to the scientific committee. Finally, Ministry of Health will approve the standards. So what FSSI is doing, so I just want to speed up because I want to cover regulatory activities. These are how the FSSI is doing the activities. Like we are not only a regulator, we are enablers. How we are enabling the facilitating the trade for the manufacturing units and convergence of citizens and eat right programs. How we are modulating the healthy choices. So these are the initiatives of the FSI, hygiene rating and the 45 magic marks regarding how the testing, Jaivik for organic, Vogue is for holy places and food safety vehicles are being. This is for testing and then benchmarking, how we are making the clusters, hygiene rating, restaurants, how the state governments is conducting inspections. The building consumer awareness is the main our target. Under the pillar of Eat Right campuses, Eat Right institutes we have initiated. In that, our main target is not only ensuring the safe food. In Eat Right campus, we are proposing giving the certificates not only for Eat Right, we are enabling the citizens to have the local foods. Eat local, eat seasonal, eat sustainable. With this slogan, we are going to the campus and we are proposing all the campuses of government institutes as Eat Right campus. What Eat Right campus comprises of? Suppose if you take the oil, if you fry it more than 2 times, then the polar compounds will increase. So, in order to have healthy choices, we are proposing the Eat Right campuses. And how we are addressing the adulteration. Not only the dot book, in social media also every week FSI is giving how the testing parameters has to do the test at home level, how you can test the product is not adulterated. Then the trans fat, share food, and these are the activities which was taken by the FSI. So how be a smart consumer, what you should check for the label. We have labeling regulations. The labeling regulation says that these are the minimum parameters you have to specify for the veg and non-veg logo specifications. This is the main as a now FSI licensing regulation deals with. For a registration, this is for registration license. What is the difference between the registration and license is? If your annual turnover is less than 12 lakhs, you can take the registrations. What are the documents required for? If your annual turnover is more than 12 lakhs, you have to take the license. Registrations, major registration comes under the state purview. So state officers will give immediately, you can take after applying instant license, you can take. FSA has given the scope for the entrepreneurs to get instant license also. Tatkal license, that is Tatkal license and Tatkal registrations. What comes under the purview of state and central? Central, if your manufacturing capacity is more than 2 metric tons, then you have to mandatorily and comes under the central. Like your annual turnover is more than 20 crores, you have to take the central license. Star hotels and e-commerce. Suppose you are the importer and exporter, mandatorily you have to take the central license. Suppose you are having the state license, you want to export your product, then you need not to apply for the new license. You can migrate your license into the central. If you are having the e-commerce in the sense, if you are having your own website and selling in that website, then you comes under the e-commerce. So if you are selling in some third-party website, you need not to come into the category of e-commerce. Head offices, you are having the some 2-3 states you are selling the product, you are having the head office at some place, then you have to take the central license. Proprietary foods, suppose 2 standard products are combinedly prepared and then it comes under the proprietary. Non-specified food means where the standards are not there, so it comes under the central. Nutraceuticals comes under the central. Radiation processing units, airports, seaports, and government agencies. What comes under the state? State is the manufacturing capacity is less than 2 metric ton, and your turnover is less than 20 crores. Storage, warehouses, hotels. Majority hotels comes under the state. So for petty food business operator, your annual turnover is up to 12 lakhs. Then you can take the registration. Production capacity is this much. So these are the basic. What are the documents? For licensing, you can select the kind of business, n number of kind of business you can select, n number of products you can add. These are the for central license. For food, health supplements, importers, 100% EOU, e-commerce, all comes under the central purview. So this is the licensing website, Pasco's Food Safety Compliance System, where any entrepreneur can get your license within no time, within 1 day. So you need not to approach the offices. You need not to go to any third-party consultant. Directly the FBO food business operator can select, take your business license within no time. So what happens when you select your location and give the documents, kind of business you select, you'll get the 17 digits user ID. Then details, then it comes to the DO. The documents will be scrutinized. And if it is a high risk units, then we will conduct inspection. Normally for these coffee-based beverages, we will not conduct inspection, prior inspection. If the DO gets any doubts, then the inspection comes. Even the who are conducting inspection also, DO will give the assigning. DO will assign to the concerned food inspector or food safety officers to inspect the premises. So in order to facilitate the business, we are giving prior permission, we are giving prior information to the FBO food business operator, and then we are issuing the license. This is the general methodology. Any layman can get your license within no time. So what are the documents required for registrations? The basic document is photo ID and the proof of position is the main. So this is for the large manufacturing units. What are the documents required? Like suppose n number of directors, then you have to give the declaration, photo ID, proof of positions, and you are authorized person. Then you have to give declaration in form 9, blueprint of the layout, production unit, photographs. Suppose you are taking a product from a large manufacturer and repacking it. You have to submit NOC. You are a relabeler. On your brand you are selling it. Then you comes under the relabeling category. So these are the links. Conditions of license. You should display your license at your premises. Normally, licensing authority will intimate. DO will give a message to inspect units. So, if you have more than 25 employees, you should train your employees with fast-track training. At least one technical person to supervise. They should have life science background. Testing every 6 months, mandatorily. They have to submit the product report NABL accredited lab in every 6 months. And the most important it is the annual returns. Suppose if you go to your license applied by some third party or some agent, they will not file annual returns. The next day of 31st May or June, you will get penalty per day it starts. Then the BO will come into the picture. So what we advise as a regulatory body, try to apply your own and get it. Whatever the technical advisory, every time we will send the advisories, what are the conditions, what are the major improvements. All this comes through digitalized only, not any manually. Even whatever we are giving is, everything is digitalized. So mandatorily you have to follow the schedule 4 requirements. Where what are the conditions you have to maintain at your unit? Daily records. Suppose you are purchasing some product from somewhere, definitely you have to maintain the analysis reports. So these are the schedule 4 requirements you have to follow. What are the problems we're getting while exporting? So these are the problems: pesticide residues, chemical residues, contaminants. Why rejection? Because of, that's why FSI as a regulatory body, why we are emphasizing to send your reports at least in 6 months. Normally, for every batch you have to test your product. So in order to avoid these kind of things, you have to test your every batch for your product. These are things you have to follow: good hygiene practice, horticultural practice. How you will follow? Pest control methods. In every manufacturing unit, you should submit the pest control certificate, and the food business operators have to submit the medical health checkup of the food handlers who are there in your unit. Codex is a joint organization of FAO and WHO. Main aim of Codex is to ensure facilitate the trade, international trade. Why we are following standards? Suppose some country is having some standard and India is having some standard. So we are harmonizing all our standards with the Codex. National Codex contact point is the FSI. We have shadow Codex committees on processed foods, food hygiene, fats and oils, and imports, residues, milk, fresh meats, like same panels which we are having. 21 panels in Codex committee. We have separate committees for this one. National committee. We have a number of scientists from various institutes in the Codex committees also. General subject matter of Codex committee, who are the chairs? For contaminants, Netherlands. Additives, China. Labeling, Canada. General principle, France. Residues, China. Veterinary drugs. We are holding only spices and culinary herbs, remaining all headed by the developed countries. This is the scenario of Codex. What India role, what India did at Codex. As far as FSI concerned, recently for the millets, our scientists has prepared standards and we have authorized for Codex standards also. Codex also following the Indian standards. So that is the greatness of our scientists. So these are the activities where Ayurveda, Hara, vegan food nowhere in the world. Our scientists has made it that prepared standards and the international level also we are going to submit Ayurveda Hara regulation in the Codex committees. From 2011 onwards, we are heading this spices panel. First chairperson from the APEDA, Sanjeev Dave was the first chairman of the Codex. India initiated not only we are making international wide standards, we as FSI is supporting the neighboring countries building the Codex standards like Nepal, Bhutan, and other neighboring countries we are supporting. Regarding regulatory compliances, you can ask any questions. Thank you.
Thank you for the detailed presentation. Thank you for joining. Next, we'll move on to the next session, which is on packaging solutions for coffee products. For this session, I would like to invite Dr. Pon Kumar, Deputy Director, Indian Institute of Packaging, Chennai. Sir holds a degree of MTech in Polymer Engineering and Technology from ICT Mumbai and pursuing PhD from IIT Madras. Prior to joining IIP, Sir worked in various capacities in private companies in the field of packaging and intellectual property rights for more than 5 years. Sir has published 3 international papers and have registered patent agent at Indian Patent Office from 2010. Sir has also started a new online course called a CPE Certified Packaging Engineer at IIP Chennai for both fresh and working engineers and making the IIP laboratories as digital laboratory and instrumental. So thank you for joining with us in this webinar, sir. Welcome you.
So very good afternoon, everyone. This is related to packaging solutions, especially for the coffee products. Okay. So my plan is like this. I'll talk about what is our institute, what is IAP, and what are the packaging and definition levels, and what are the spoilage factors, what are the materials and machineries. So these are the things what we will discuss in this presentation. About our institution, that is IAP, Indian Institute of Packaging, which is an autonomous body under Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India, which we have started in the year of, established in the year of 1966 as headquarters at Mumbai. Then we have further down, we have opened regional offices at various locations, starting from Chennai, Calcutta, Delhi, Hyderabad, Ahmedabad, and Bangalore yet to be inaugurated. So the major activities what we do here in this institute is that various training and educational programs we are conducting specifically in the field of packaging. We have a course called Postgraduate Diploma in Packaging. That is a 2-year full-time course which is offered by the institute for last 40 years, more than 40 years. We also have MS programs, MS and MSc programs in packaging technology, which is offered by our Hyderabad center as well as Delhi centers. Okay, we also do the testing and quality evaluation of the packaging materials, especially to the context of the coffee powder or coffee products. If you take it up, so we are using majorly we are using plastic-based materials. So we should know, we should understand what is a leachability or migration is happening. So we can do the testing. IAP can perform the testing. IAP laboratories are enabled accredited, so we can do the testing and we can confirm whether it is meeting the regulatory requirement or not. So in that sense, specific to the coffee. But apart from that, institute also we conducts various testing of the packaging materials, both the primary packaging material as well as the transport packages. So all those testing we do. Okay, yes, of course, we also do the R&D activities which is specific to the packaging area. Okay, this is the courses which I was telling you. We have this MS in Packaging Technology, MSc in Packaging Technology, and certificate programs, handholding programs, entrepreneurship development programs. We keep doing it at across all the centers of the institute. So, certified packaging engineer, which was mentioned, that is started in Chennai. Okay, 4 years back, the institute runs this course only specifically for the engineering graduates who has completed the engineering course, engineering graduation. They can join this course. Is conducted part-time online course. It is offered by IIP Chennai. As I was mentioning that even the previous speaker also was mentioning about the accreditation of this enable is must. See, when we do the testing to demonstrate our quality test results, so we do get the accreditation from the accreditation agency like NABL, National Accreditation Board for Testing and Calibration Laboratories. The IIP laboratories are NABL accredited, and we are also 9001 2015 certified laboratories. And Mumbai is having the LRS scheme, Laboratory Recognition Scheme. Like this, we also for the export purpose, DG Shipping and DGCA authorized IIP for performing this test. Majorly, we conduct the all the package tests. The major the role of the institute. Okay. So coming back to the major topic, what is we are going to talk is about the packaging. So it may be coffee powder or any product. The basic definition is this: the packaging may be defined as a mean of ensuring safe delivery of a product to the ultimate consumer in a sound condition at a minimum overall cost. Right? It should act as a tool for ensuring the safe delivery. If I talk about a coffee powder, my coffee powder reach to the ultimate consumer who is going to open up the pouch and then open up the bottle and then whatever the packaging material going to, and then take the amount of coffee and then going to use it. Then the aroma is not maintained, the smell is not there, then the buyer will not be preferred to buy the product, right? So we should ensure this it should reach to the ultimate consumer in sound condition. Sound condition you can arrive. I can write what I would say as a sound condition. What I would say as a sound condition. Sound condition means the bottle should not break, or the pouch should not tear off, or the aroma should not go out, right? So your product's texture should not change. Suppose I put a beans or some grain format, and during the transit, if the material become powdery, then people will not accept it. So you can establish a list what I mean as a sound condition for particularly for your product. If I'm talking about a coffee in a filter coffee in a liquid format, I just put it in a pouch or I can put it in a bottle, whatever. So in that case, then the list may add up. Okay, that should not leak. Right? In case of grains, it may become powder, but in case of liquid, it may not leak out from the caps or whatever, wherever the sealable area is there. So at the same time, you should not end up with the cost should not be very high. That's why we say minimum overall cost. It's a basic definition. You develop any packages or you buy any packages for your product, but you go through this definition once again so that you can say that okay, I am using this as a tool for safest delivery. Okay, how do I ensure the safe delivery? Whether I'm using a box for transportation, the cotton box, what is the strength, all those things you have to ensure so that it reaches to the ultimate consumer in a good condition. This is the basic definition. You always have to read out or remember whenever you finalize your packaging. Okay. So packaging can be classified in three major levels, that is primary package, secondary package, and shipper or transport package, what we generally say, or tertiary packaging also you can say. Primary is material, the packaging which is going to hold your product primarily. Let's say I'm going to take a pouch as example, sachets or 50-gram pouches, then the pouches is a primary package, right? That goes into the smaller boxes for distribution purposes. That will become a secondary package. Then for the huge transportation, I'm using a cotton boxes. That will become a transport packages. In case if I would like to go for a exports, then these boxes, shippers or transport packages will be loaded into the pallets, and then with the stretch wrapping film, you can stretch wrap it, and you can also put a what do you say the straps, okay, tapes or straps, so that ensures that secures, that is called the unit load. That is also is another level. So basically the first wrap or containment of the product directly holds the product is a primary package, secondary package is a containment of the primary packaging system, and distribution package is a transport package, that is a tertiary package. Unit load is a last one to hold together. Let's say I have 24 boxes of these cotton boxes, I just wanted to transport it, then I can go with the unit load system. Apart from this, you can also classify the packaging materials by primary packaging and ancillary packaging. Primary is something which is primarily giving you the support or hold your product, let's say cotton boxes, glass containers, plastic containers, all those stuffs. Suppose I'm using glass containers, then what I would need is a cushioning system or a cushioning material which will help me to safely deliver the product to the ultimate consumer. So I may use a cushioning material, I may use a tape, I may use some sort of glue or adhesives, some printing. I wanted to give it on a box or on the product. So all those things are considered as a ancillary packaging materials. These are the differentiation between the levels. How do we classify the packaging levels? Primary, secondary, tertiary, and unit load, or primary or ancillary. This way you can classify the packaging materials. When we come to the coffee product, I was just giving you the example during the definition part, where I was telling you you can make your own list of what is the sound condition. How do I ensure the sound condition? So moisture content. If something coffee powder means, it is the biggest enemy of your moisture. Right. Suppose moisture goes in, even I open the sachets within some, let's say I just kept it somewhere and then gone out and then come back maybe 15 minutes, you will find the moisture absorbed by the coffee powder, and then it will start, what do you say, the sogginess or something there. So to avoid that, you ensure the package should be moisture free. The package should ensure that the moisture should not enter into the product. You have to have a very good barrier material so that the moisture will not go inside your product. Less aroma or flavor, loss of aroma or flavor. Yeah, the coffee powder should not lose its aroma. Okay. Discoloration is another thing. Suppose if I use a PET container or a glass container, which there may be possibilities of sunlight, direct sunlight hitting on it, that could be possible that it may lose its color. So people will not prefer to buy a coffee powder with a different color, a reddish color, something. So it should be in that format or in that color. The insect infestation, that could be possible. Sometimes some insects goes if the package is not good. Microbial contamination to be ensured. Okay. These are the spoilage factors. So considering these spoilage factors and the examples what we have seen here, the levels, we will see only two levels, the primary and secondary options. So what are the primary options you have? So you have the plastic pouches. I don't say plastic pouches, it is a laminate pouches. There is a difference between plastic and laminates. The plastic is only the plastic layer. Lamination will have multiple layers, which may have a paper layer in between, possible. In some cases that is also there, or aluminum based materials, metallized polyethylene terephthalate or metallized polypropylenes. So they add that as an in-between layer to enhance the barrier property, so increase the barrier property. So that will become a high barrier, then the moisture will not penetrate from the external sources into the product. So that is the main reason why we call that as a laminate. Laminate is something which is which is having multi-layer structure. Okay. The another material what we can see generally in the market is glass bottles with flip top dispenser. Sometimes flip top or sometimes it is openable dispensers, because depends upon the requirement. You can think about it. See, suppose if I am going to use a spoon or something to remove to decide amount of coffee I wanted to take it out, then you can give the top complete open type. But of course, in this primary package, it gives you an elegant look, and it will. You can also have a kind of a sealer inside, and then you can have a cap. So these are the formats what we can have. That is a glass bottles. Even with the flip open or without flip open, you can go ahead. Then another thing is PET bottles. You can also use the PET bottles for the higher quantities. Okay, PET is a very good barrier material, because smaller quantities or lesser quantities you can use. The application, why do we, which is better? If you ask me, the glass is the ultimate and better, the best option. If you ask me the rigid containers, rigid bottles, then I would say the glass will be a better option. The reason is that it will, the glass bottle will have very good barrier properties, and it will not react with the product. There are so many advantages of the glass bottle. The one major disadvantage is it may break when you transport it. That is the only major disadvantage. Okay, one should ensure that proper handling to be done or proper cushioning to be done. These are the primary packaging options. Of course, some designs and some changes you can always do with this pouch. Suppose if I wanted to use this pouches for the liquid, Okay, filter coffee liquids nowadays it's coming. The emerging techniques is being used, so they can come with the caps. So you can include a spout with a cap. So desired amount can be taken it and then keep it closed. That way it is possible. Okay. So what is the key primary packaging and what are the materials? What we have seen here, there are materials. So here major materials, PET film. What we generally use a polyethylene terephthalate. We call it as a PET. So what is PET? PET is the polyethylene terephthalate. The polyethylene terephthalate is having excellent transparency. It is having excellent transparency so that you can use it for the reverse printing. In general, what they do is they make 3-layer structure. Then innermost layer they use the LDP material for better sealability, and the middle layer for the barrier property, that is PET or high density. What do you say? The PET with the metallized material or aluminum foil you can use, and under outer layer you can go with the reverse printed PET. Reverse printed PET also can be used. These are the structures. Okay. In general, the pouch formats. BOPP film is in case if you are using something where you wanted to have some transparent layer on top of it, then you can go. Suppose we are using a monocotton or paper based material as outer boxes, inner pouch you are having coffee powder, on outer box you wanted to make as a what do you say, the paper based boxes, then BOPP can be used as a outer layer of the box. Okay. Metallized PET film, excellent moisture or barrier property. That is what I'm telling. You can just use PET film or metallized PET film can be used. Aluminium foil, extraordinary moisture, oxygen or light barrier. So what I would say is based on the weight. Suppose if I say I'm going to sell it for 2 rupees a sachets, then if you're going to use aluminum foil, all those things, that may become very costly affair. So what you can do in that case, you can go with the metallized PET film and the LDP film inside, so that you can get the both sealability as well as the moisture barrier. And but the duration will be short. The shelf life or the moisture will be short. Whereas if you wanted to go with some 50 gram or 100 gram or the higher SKUs, then you can use the aluminum foil as one of the layer in the laminate to ensure the good barrier properties. PET bottles is, you can also use a PET bottles. The advantage of PET bottle is 100% recyclable. I don't say it is compostable, but recyclable. Suppose if you throw the PET bottle, people will collect it and it can be recycled. Glass bottle is another option. Okay. So how these plastic pouches are converted into the desired shapes with the help of this machine called FFS machine, form, fill, seal machine. If somebody is entrepreneur and would like to start the business, then you can search for the FFS machines if you would like to go with the pouches. Okay, the FFS machine means forming, filling and sealing machine. So form, fill, seal machine, what will happen? You can see the animated video here. So what will happen? The coffee powder you can directly fill it in this area in the hopper. Then from this roll, you can print all the desired content. Like I wanted to put my brand name and I wanted to put the ingredients, whatever the requirements are there as per the FSSAI regulatory requirements. You can put the vegetarian mark, whatever the labeling requirements are there. You can print everything into it. Then that can be placed into this machine. That will help you to make a center sealing, bottom sealing, fill the product, then top sealing. Then you will end up with a pouch like this. Yes, of course you can also make a perforation and you can take a lengthy pouches, like how you can tear off maybe sachets kind of thing. But of course if you are wanted to have some 250 gram or 100 gram pouches, that is also possible. But this layer structure, as I told you, it can be a 3-layer structure: PET, MedPET, LDP. Then basically this is what is used, the FFS missions, form, fill, seal mission. Suppose if I am telling you I just wanted to make this sort of pouches, then what you can do, you can take the number of pouches in a single line. So one line you will get 5 or 6 such as coming down, then you can seal it and then you can take it out. So that is also possible. So what I was trying to tell you is about the primary, secondary, the levels, then the materials, primary packaging materials, and how this can be converted using this. This is what is the FFS machines. Okay. And emerging trends nowadays, people started using the liquid fluid based coffee. Right. So that Either you can go with a pouch with a spout, like this pouch with the spout there at the top of it, or you can also go with a rigid container with a flip open. So you can take out whatever the amounts you wanted, then you can take it out. And another concept is coming, the dip thing is that you can just directly take it and then dip it inside the hot water, then pour the milk, then you will be able to get a coffee. Okay. Then apart from this, you can also have, this is what I was telling you, a pouch with a spout, like this spout, you can get it. This is also tearable spouts. Just tear it, then you can use it in the lesser quantity. Okay. Otherwise, you can also go with the packs like this. This is a tetra pack. This is generally called as a tetra pack. Tetra pack, where it will have multi-layer structure. You will have a paper layer. You will have a aluminum foil. You will have PET. You will have nylon. Everything. So what the advantage of this is that you can use it for higher barrier and longer duration. Shelf life can be. So these are the various options what you have as a primary packages. What is a secondary pack? So how do I can transport all this? So you can go with the CFBs. What is CFB? CFB, what is called as corrugated fiberboard boxes. CFB means corrugated fiberboard box. Generally we call cartons. Right? You can go with the carton boxes. Carton boxes, generally we say simple carton box, but when you go into detail, one should be clearly aware about the specification. So this is the basic ratio. You can follow this ratio, length into width into height. Length, suppose 2 times length. Suppose 1 meter I say, then half a meter width and half a meter height would be a proper composition. Okay. So when you go with the boxes, you can see the number of ply. So generally the boxes can be made only with the minimum of 3 ply. Okay, this is for the wrapping purpose. Suppose if you have a bottle or something, you wanted to wrap it, then you can use this single face board. Otherwise, single wall, that is 3 ply, 5 ply, 7 ply, that is how you can use it. If you, in case if you are using some glass bottles, means 250 ml or something, or 250 grams, the number of bottles you wanted to use it, then you can go with the good quality boxes. Because the bottle, if you are using a bottle, then it becomes heavy weight, and the transportation, during transportation it may break. So if you are going for bottles or something, then you can also think about the partitions like this. These are all the partitions. These partitions will help you to transport the product without any damages. This is generally used in all the glass based primary packaging materials. They go with this kind of separators or partitions, you can say. Okay, so these are the 2 different options I would like to say. Then suppose if you are using the primary packages as a plastics, then the major thing is the migration, the regulatory requirement. What is a migration? Suppose if I am using a plastic based pouch, let's say this is the plastic wall, this is the completely plastic wall structure, this is your food product, then let's say liquid, coffee liquid I'm just putting. Okay, so what will happen, this particles of plastics, maybe unreacted monomer or some additives or colorants, whatever it is added into plastics, that may slowly go and penetrate through the wall and then mix with the product. That is what is called as a migration. So we have in our laboratory, we perform the test called migration test, that is global migration and specific migration. There are 2 types of migration. We perform the test called global migration. Our Mumbai office, they have the specific migration test also. So migration is a transfer of chemical contaminants from plastic materials into the packaged product. Now, how do I see how much it is migrating? It is not possible to analyze the hard, means your liquid coffee or a powder coffee, how much plastic is there inside. That is not possible. So the standard, what they say is, they give some simulants. Let's say I'm having this product, then I take this chemical and then do the test and then evaporate the chemical and find out how much plastic is migrated within a period of time. So that is what the requirement limitation is 10 mg per dm square or 60 mg per liter. Okay, so what are the substances can transmit, migrate? That is plasticizer, antioxidants, UV, all those things can be. So we perform the test as per Indian standard IS 9845. Even the FSSAI also mentioned this. FSSAI standard also, FSSAI regulation also, they refer to the standard 9845 or the specification standard which will refer to this 9845. Okay. So how do we do how do we check the migration with the particular thing? Like, what is a problem? Suppose something is getting plastic is migrated into food and then consuming. What it is going to be a health issue, right? Package migration is important in the food industry because it may change the organoleptic properties. Sometimes when you drink water, you may feel a kind of something else is there, mixed up is there. So that we should. That is all because of the migrations. This is what they say similant. Distilled water I can take in the plastic pouch, fill the distilled water, and then do it, keep it for a elevated temperature, maybe 40 degrees Celsius for 10 days. Then I analyze the liquid, and that is drinking water, distilled water, then find out what is the plastic is transmitted there. So that same way we have 3% acetic acid, 10% ethanol, 50% ethanol, and N-octane. Various stimulants depends upon the product. Let's say coffee, what I would take. You can say this liquid here. See, they are mentioning in this 9S. This is standard content only. In the 9S45, they refer this, and then they mention that if you wanted to check, then you take N-heptane, that is simulant D. You take N-heptane and fill the N-heptane liquid. It is all mostly in the liquid format. N-heptane liquid into the pouch or the plastic containers, whatever you wanted to use it for packing the food. Then evaporate, keep at elevated temperature for a particular stipulated period of time. Then you understand. Then you take that liquid, then evaporate it and find out what is a plastic is transmitted or some whatever contaminants is migrated. That is what we call it as a migration test. Okay. So these are the regulatory requirements. Now, suppose if we talk about this secondary packages, the secondary packages requirements are this: what type of paper you are using, grammage, and what CFB. What is a cob value, how much water moisture can go, and then the weight gain happens. That is what is a cob test. Or the edge crust test of the box, how much load it can withstand. To understand that, we perform the test called edge crust test. And bursting strength, suppose this terminology at least you should know, so that when you are talking to a supplier, then you can ask, you are supplying a box, then what is the bursting strength? Then he will realize, okay, something you are aware. So what they do is they will say, okay, this is a bursting strength, I can improvise, or you can just if you have the basic idea, then you can buy a right packaging material for your product in order to transport right. That is a basic ideology. And BCT is a box compression strength, how much the box can withstand when you put a load onto it. When you wanted to stack it, maybe 5 boxes are stacked. Based on the height of the box, you may be stacking 5 boxes or 10 boxes, and how much it can take the load. That is what is a box compression test. Puncture is sudden sharp object is entering. Let's say when somebody is lifting your boxes during the transshipment with the forklift, right? If something goes and it penetrates, then what will happen? So that is how we can check the quality of this secondary. I hope it is clear to everyone. If you have any doubts, see, because the time is less, so that's why I've taken only primary and secondary part and the regulatory requirements. If you have anything, you can ask, please. Thank you.
That's it, sir. Thank you so much for joining. Next technical session will be on banking and financial assistance to micro enterprises. For this session, we have with us Mr. Hardik Sutaria, Senior Manager, Indian Bank, Kumbakonam branch. Sir holds a degree of BCom from Gujarat University and PGDM with specialization in finance and marketing. Sir has worked as a branch manager at Porbandar, Ahmedabad. He also worked on various marketing projects of Taj Group Hotels, ITC Hotels, Oberoi Hotels, and many more. Sir is presently working as a senior manager credit at Indian Bank Zonal Office, Kumbakonam, Tamil Nadu, in MSME Corporate Credit and Forex Verticals Department.
First of all, I welcome Mr. Senthil Kumar, Director, Coffee Board, Government of India, and I thank Mr. Professor V. Palanimuthu for giving me this opportunity to speak about our MSME products at Indian Bank. First, I'll let you go through, let me take you to the list of documents that are required for MSME applications. So these are the list of things that is primarily required by a customer when they come up for a MSME loan. Application form, KYC of applicant and guarantor if applicable, PAN, Udyam registration, GST form, GST registration, firm registration, partnership deed, certificate of incorporation, memorandum of association, article of association, and director identification number if it is a private limited. All the mandatory if a company is company or a firm is into engage in any activity which requires mandatory license and approvals from government of India and other statutory approvals, these are they have to produce certain licenses. Asset and liability statement of the individual and guarantors. If the net worth of individual is more than 1 crore, it has to be CA certified. Then we require latest 3 years ITR along with balance sheet and profit and loss. If company falls into the category of audited audit, then audited balance sheet of course we require. GST returns of last 2 financial years we require for processing the loan. Address proof of business unit like electricity bill, telephone bill. If the firm or business unit is on rental basis, then rental agreement of course. Latest stock and book debt statement for the units who wants to avail working capital limit. If a customer wants to avail a term loan, then like if they want to install any fixed assets to be purchased, for that we need quotations. Projections with DSCR for entire 10 years. DSCR is applicable for term loans, wherein if a customer is asking for 10 years of repayment period, then we need a projection for next 10 years. If the customer is offering property, then we require a legal scrutiny report which will be given by the panel advocate of our bank. Engineer evaluation report that also will be given by the panel valuer of our bank. And so I'll be taking you through the various products that are available at our Indian bank. First is Ind SME Secure. So the target group is micro, small and medium enterprise who have registered with Udyam registration certificate. Eligibility is both existing and new MSME units. Purpose may be working capital requirement for purchase of fixed assets, construction of building, purchase of factory land, industrial land. Also all fund and non-fund based facilities. Non-fund based facilities includes bank guarantee and letter of credit. Exposure limit about 10 lakhs, and there is no ceiling for this product unless if the customer is wants to avail loan under secured OD, then maximum cap is 200 lakhs. For OCC and term loan, there is no such. Margin requirement is for OCC, we need 20% margin on stock and book debts. For SOD, 30% on the value of property. Term loan machinery, 25%. Land and building, 30%. Purchase of land, 50%. So the security required for this product is minimum 50% coverage by way of immovable property. For new units, 100% coverage. Existing units can give up to 50% collateral coverage and they can avail this SME secure loan. Repayment tenure for term loan is 15 years. And we may allow holiday period for certain months. For that, customer has to service the interest during that holiday period. So this is the another product that we offer to our contractors portfolio. This product is can be available by individual proprietor registered partnership firm, limited liability company and private limited company, which are registered under MSME. The contractor has to be well-established contractor performing contracts for government, reputed PSU, reputed corporates, should be in a business for 3 years and has uncontinuous profit since last 2 years. Subcontractors may also go for this loan. Main contract should permit assigned to subcontractors. The purpose of the loan is similar to other products: working capital and purchase of machinery. Also, fund-based and non-fund-based facilities available. So the exposure limit for this product is about 10 lakhs. Maximum ceiling 10 crores for individual borrower, single group, and 20 crores for group borrowers. Margin is 50% on SOD, security, OCC, like I said, 20% on the stocks and book debts. Equipments, if they are purchasing any equipments, 20% margin will require. And if they are going for any guarantee or non-fund based facility like guarantee and LC, 10% cash margin. So the relaxation in margin can be given in fund-based facility up to 10% by our zonal manager who is heading the zone. Security, in case of OCC, 100% collateral security in the form of immovable property or liquid securities. For SODs, we need double the amount of, double the value of the loan. Say, for example, a customer is availing 1 crore of SOD limit, we need the security at least 2 crores. Type of assessment will go for up to 5 crores turnover method. Above 5 crores, it will be MPBF second method, modified MPBF and cash budget method. So this is the third product that we are having in our portfolio in Indian Bank, IB Doctor Plus. This portfolio majorly covers all the doctors and medical practitioners. They have to be registered under MSME. Key promoters or spouse qualified medical practitioners are the target group. Fresh doctors also can avail this loan. For this also, purpose maybe for working capital requirement, purchase or construction of hospital, setting up of clinic, residential clinic or nursing home, purchase of machinery equipment. Exposure limit is minimum 1 lakhs and maximum there is no ceiling. But for fresh passed out students, maximum exposure we can offer is up to 2 crores. So security required for loan up to 5 crores. Primary security will be hypothecation of assets. Hypothecation of assets means whatever the machineries and equipments they are going to install in the hospital or clinics. Collateral security, it can be covered under CGTMST up to 5 crores. If primary and collateral security is immovable property with 100% coverage, then CGTMST is not required. If primary and collateral security is less than 100%, we may go for CGTMST coverage with hybrid security. Part portion will be covered under collateral security and rest unsecured portion can be covered under CGTMST. So this we have this IB Tradewell product, which is specifically designed for the traders community. For this also target group is MSME trading units with ODM registration. The traders should have minimum 1 year's experience with good standing in the market. Finance can be extended to new units subject to availability of minimum 75% collateral security in the form of immovable or liquid securities. Under Tradewell scheme also we will offer working capital requirements, purchase of fixed assets and other equipments. Exposure is about 10 lakhs. Minimum it should be about 10 lakhs. Maximum we can go for term loan up to 5 crores. Security 2 crores. And for OCC there is no limit. Margin required for security limits up to 50 lakhs, 33% on immovable property, 10% on bank deposit or NSC. Limits above 50 lakhs and up to 2 crores, 40% margin requirement for unimmovable properties, 25% on bank deposits, NSC, government securities 20%, If agriculture properties at places other than rural areas, then will require 50% margin. OCC, 25% margin on stocks, book debts 30%. So facilities other than SODs, existing units minimum 50% coverage by way of immovable property, primary plus collateral. New units minimum 75% coverage required. MSME units who are into the business of transportation or any other allied activities where they require vehicle for business purpose, we have separate product called MSME vehicle. In this also, all micro, small and medium enterprise with UPM registration certificate are eligible. All existing MSME clients with satisfactory operated account for last 1 year should can apply for this loan. New borrowers with experience in the business can also be considered with 100% collateral. Purchase of new vehicle, light motor vehicle, heavy motor vehicle for transport of men and material. That includes car, tempos, minivan, trucks, etc. Exposure limit, term loan. This product can be given only in under term loan. There is no working capital facility available. Maximum up to 2 crores. So the margin required for this product is 15%, which includes cost of vehicle, road tax, insurance, registration charges, bodybuilding cost, plus meter cost, plus accessories. So the security will be hypothecation of vehicle. CGTMSC cover also possible, and immovable properties with 50% cover. We may go with this product. Repayment terms for light motor vehicle 60 EMIs commencing from next month from the date of disbursement. For heavy motor vehicles, total tenure whatever the customer has requested for, and holiday period we can give relief up to 3 months. It should not exceed 60 months. So amount in this product directly will be remitted to the dealer supplier of the vehicle through DD and NEFT RTGS. Other related documents like RTO vehicle transfer forms as required by bank shall be obtained. Charges to be registered with E1 portal and ROC. So the MSME, we have another specific product for commercial vehicle wherein previous loan was only for purchase of light motor vehicle and heavy motor vehicle, wherein the customer having experience in the line of activity can go for it. Here we have separate commercial vehicle scheme. In this scheme, say for example, schools, colleges can also go for this type of this product, wherein we will finance commercial vehicle loan under this category. So individual sole proprietorship partnership firm LLP, both existing and new borrowers are eligible. Minimum 1 year's experience required in the line of business. Satisfactory track record with existing banks. Necessary permissions, license approval for purchasing the vehicle. If an enterprise is having a very good tie-up with any government body or any other local institutions where their vehicles will be running, this product is fruitful to them. Purpose: finance new small, light, medium, heavy commercial vehicles. Finance of passengers vehicles is also available in this product. So the exposure limit is minimum 5 lakhs and maximum 2 crores. This will also be financed under term loan. The margin required for this product is 25%. Security: primary will be the hypothecation of vehicle. Collateral up to 10 lakhs will be covered under CGTMSC, and about 10 lakhs it can go by hybrid coverage or full collateral coverage. In this, repayment term will be 62 months, moratorium period applicable up to 2 months. In this also, the amount will be remitted directly to dealer supply through RTGS, NEFT, and other online modes. So this product is specifically for the customers who wants to purchase the shop and want to establish their new business. The customer has to be has a knowledge of the business for minimum 3 years. It can be relaxed up to 2 years by our zonal manager. Here there is one age criteria where the customer should not be more than 50 years of age at the time of applying the loan. Purpose: purchase of new second-hand commercial space, shop, for fresh construction, renovation of the business premises. Property should be acquired for own business only, no other purpose is permitted. Exposure limit is term loan for 10 crores. Margin requirement is 25% on the cost of property. Cost of property here includes the sale deed value, not the market value. So the security will be the equitable mortgage of commercial property, personal guarantee of partners, directors in individual capacity, if it is a private limited or limited company. Holiday period we offer for this product is up to 3 months. And if the customer wants to construct the shop, maximum holiday period we can bring up to 12 months from the date of first disbursement. So this is MSME lab. So this is the one of the hot favorite product of our bank. Major portion of our MSME portfolio consists of loan against property. So here purpose is for any bona fide business purpose. Here you need not give any specific what do you call purpose where like it is not for purchase of machinery. You can use it for business expansion according to your will. So the minimum entry age for this product is 18 years and maximum is 70 years. It can go up to 75 years, which can be permitted by our zonal manager. Our FGM can give a relaxation up to 8 years. So this product is also purely term loan. Minimum 10 lakhs and maximum is 10 crores. So here the margin requirement will take the realizable sale value, not the sale deed value. Realizable sale value means 90% of the actual market value. 40% of that RSV will take as a eligible loan limit. So the property in this product should be located in tier 1 to tier 4 categories, towns and cities only. Agricultural properties registered in the name of trust, HUF societies are not considered as a security. So the repayment period for this product is 10 years, and we can extend up to 15 years also, provided the customer provided the willingness of the customer. Here we can give holiday period up to 6 months from the date of disbursement. Yeah, one more thing in this product, we are also we can also take over the existing customers loan against property that they are having with other banks. Take over guidelines to be followed by as per our bank norms. So assessment will be purely based on the realizable sale value of the property. Also, of course, this DSTR as per the business development we require. This is one more product that bank has come up with in recent market, where new electronic vehicles, if customer wants to buy, they can go with this product with our bank. If they want to invest in e vehicles for their business needs, minimum age is 18 years, exit age is 70, relaxed up to 75 and 80. So this also require, like, purpose for this is to purchase of two-wheelers, three-wheeler and four-wheeler electric vehicles for business needs. For this for this product, there is no exposure limit. Margin requirement is 15%. Here we can go for CGTMSC coverage as well as collateral security coverage also. Holiday period up to 3 months. Repayment period maximum 48 months. For four-wheelers, it is 16 months. So the products that I've discussed previously, all the products that are structured products. If any customer is not falling under those categories, we have separate product called general MSME, wherein we can give finance to the customer as per our general MSME scheme. Here the rate of interest will be little bit higher compared to our structured products. This is the common scheme for all the customers, where all the customers will be eligible for the purpose they want to establish their business, either be working capital or purchase of fixed asset, construction of building, any reason we can finance under this scheme. Basic guidelines require, basic papers required for this product is we need a mandatory GST registration number, benchmark norms that has to be followed as per MSME policy. This product also can be covered under CGTMSC coverage, and the insurance of the primary and collateral property to be mandatorily covered. So these are the benchmark ratio that we follow at our Indian bank. Actual the industry benchmark ratio for current ratio is 1.33, but however in our bank we follow 1.10. We can give relaxation up to 1% as per our zonal manager's discretion. TOLTNW 5:1, 6:1 by ZLCC. Debt equity ratio, it is industry ratio. Industry benchmark is 2:1, whereas we will follow 4:1. DSCR is same as our industry benchmark. Interest coverage ratio 1.5. Fixed asset coverage ratio is 1.20. Fixed asset coverage ratio and security coverage ratio are similar only. So these are the classification of micro, small and medium enterprise, where it has been revised recently. Previously it was quite lower side. Now for the companies, for the units whose investment in plant and machinery is below 1 crore and the turnover is does not exceed 5 crore, that will fall under micro category. For small business units, investment in plant and machinery up to 10 crores and turnover should not exceed 50 crores. And medium enterprise 50 crore under investment in plant and machinery, and turnover should not exceed 250 crore. Of course, this is the one of the highlighted product of our government of India, Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana. Now, recently in our recent budget, government has come up with one more addition into this product, wherein previously Mudra Yojana was given under 3 categories: Shishu, Kishore, and Tarun. Shishu being up to 50,000, Kishore 50,000 to 5 lakhs, Tarun 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs. Now they have included one more category, Tarun Plus, which will be above 10 lakhs and up to 20 lakhs. So the margin requirement for this product for Shishu is we don't require any margin. Kishore 10%, Tarun 15%, Tarun Plus 20%. So the main highlight of this product is this product will only be covered under CGTMSC, no collateral coverage required. This product also can be taken in the form of working capital and term loan. The only thing here in our bank terminology is like any amount taken, any amount above 1 lakh has to be approved from our zonal office, and up to 1 lakh branch manager can sanction the loan. under Mudra scheme. This is similar only. If in any allied activities also, customer can go for Mudra loans, not necessarily for the actual business that they are carrying out. This is applicable for agri-allied institutions also. So there was a constraint of time. I have to cut short my presentation. If any questions, you may directly raise your questions, or else you may contact NIFTM. I'll get back to you through mail.
Thank you so much, sir. It's really useful to all of us. Thank you for taking your time and being with us. We'll be moving on to the next technical talk on detailed project report preparation to micro enterprises. For this session, I would like to invite Mr. Kishant Murali, Chief Operating Officer, Wave Technologies Private Limited, Tanjavur, Tamil Nadu. Sir completed his bachelor's and master's degree in energy engineering at PSG College of Engineering in Coimbatore. Under his leadership, the company has established memorandums of understanding with several public and private sector companies in the energy sector. Sir has also published over 15 research papers in peer-reviewed journals. Welcome you, sir. Kindly share your screen.
So, good afternoon, everyone. Is my voice audible?
Yes, it's audible, sir.
Yeah. So, good afternoon, everyone. I am Kishant. Ma'am has given me some introduction about me. That's very high of me. Thank you. So today, due to the short timings, I have came here to explain you about how to create a detailed project report for a micro industries, that is with respect to your coffee development. So basically, this detailed project report should consist of a compromised project outline, and blueprint has to be very clear. This essential, why do we need funding, and how do we going to get stakeholders approval, and the significance in the product which we are going to sell. So this should contain executive summary, the project background, market analysis, technical feasibility, financial projections, implementation plan. So what is this executive summary? This is nothing but what you are going to do, what our project is going to do, and what this product especially will be, what especially this project will do. Okay, this project background and the scope of this product that can be sustainable, everything has to be detailedly explained in the report. And the third thing is the market analysis. See, there are three types of market. One is global, one is regional, another one is local. So the globally, how the market cap is there, what is the CAGR, and what is the growth rate of the market, and what is the growth rate in the region, and locally means in your locality, what is your targeted market CAGR, has to be analyzed with respect to the real-time data. Not only we can provide with Google data, and these things are not allowed. You have to take the statistics. You have to approach statistics firm to get the correct data which is available in the market. Okay, so the market study has to be conducted whether the product will be sustainable in the market, or whether the product will be if you are going for a coffee powder, like herbal coffee powder, any kind of coffee powder, if you are going, means what is the global demand. First we have to analyze the supply and demand of the product, and then what is the market capability of the product, whether the product can be regionally hit. Some products can be applicable to regional wise, like Arabian coffees will be more specifically useful in Arabian markets. If you come to Indonesia there will be black coffees. If we come to India, South India, especially filter coffee products will be more appealing. So region wise, you have to study the market's capacity and market's growth rate. So this is the market analysis, and then you have to analyze the technical feasibility, whether the product is feasible or not. We can design whatever products we want. Like we can mix either we can mix coffee and tea both. We can tell it as an innovation, whether it is feasible, whether it is technically feasible. Before getting into a product's design, we have to keep in mind in three things: whether it is an apt solution for the problem. Second thing is it technologically feasible? And third thing is it economically viable? We can go for any kind of products for any kind of solution, but see, for example, we are going to lock a room. For locking a room, we need a lock. That is the solution we are going to provide. But in this, if you are going to lock a room, the solution is we want to lock a room, we need locks. But with respect to the solution, we are providing a golden lock for the room. Is it an apt solution? Is technologically viable, but is it economically viable? No. So you have to take consideration of technological feasibility, technical feasibility, and then we are going to handle the financial projections. So what finance we are going to need? For example, if we are going to do a project of 10 crores, and we are going to retrieve the product with initial investment within 5 years, that has to be clearly mentioned in the financials. It should consist of cash flow statements. It should consist of your required margins and operating cost. Everything has to be has to be taken into the account, and then the implementation plan comes in the final. Simply to tell you, the timeline of the project has to be elaborately demonstrated in the timeline project. This is the 6 parts of the coffee DPR, coffee micro industries DPR. So the next slide. As I told you, what is the executive summary should have? This project objective. What is the main problem that this project is addressing? Then scope of the project. You may tell this project's solution will give us the appropriate solution for whatever we are proposing. The scope has to be very clear, and what is the USP? What is the unique selling point of the product has to be highlighted, and the stakeholders benefit. Either it has to be the local regional people, or either the government or the consumers. Who is the stakeholder benefit, and the clarity of the product should be there, and you have to be clear of the background of the product. See, the how the coffee industry has grown, you have to know that, and the role of the micro industries and need for the project which specifically we are implementing, and what will be the expected impact of the project. You should not tell expected outcome. What will be the impact that this project is going to create? This DPR should process all the information that has to be clearly mentioned to the approving authority. Either the bank will need it, or the stakeholders will need it, or your venture capitalist will need it. Everyone should have a clear knowledge about the project's background and its rationale. And what is the market analysis? As I told you, the market analysis should contain the current market combinations and conditions. Identifying the potential customers has to be carried out. See, either we can launch the best example is in Japan. When Nestle company launched this coffee product, what happened is no one is interested in coffee. But Nestle, what they did was, first they launched the coffee chocolates for giving the product the taste to the consumers. So first we have to identify the potential customers, then only we can launch the product. Before that, before identifying the potential customers, we can't launch the product. And we have to assure the demand for the coffee products. See, when the Nestle went into Japan market, they were fully tea country. It is a tea country. They have standardized the compliance with all the government compliances, yet they couldn't sell the coffee product. What they did is they changed the product from coffee powders to coffee chocolates. So you have to assess the demand. Instead of assessing the demand, they went into the market. Hence, they want to change the product. Before understanding the demand of the products, you should not get into the market, and you have to know the what is the market size. See, every country will have its own market size. See, in a country like India has a 1.4 billion people, and the market size is very huge. Even daily a person, if a person drinks one cup of coffee, it's a huge market. And you have to know what is the CAGR of the market, what is the market capital. You should before starting the industry with specific to the product, you have to analyze all these things. And you should analyze the competition. The maximum MNCs, there will be a competition for your specific product. If you are enriching your product with respect to some unique selling point, that will be very helpful for analyzing the competition, because your competition is already huge. When you want to enter into a market which is pre-existing with a lot of competitors, you should have your own USP. Sorry, does anyone want to ask something? Hello.
No, sir, you can go ahead.
Okay. Then we have to evaluate the customer preference. Either they want a coffee with instant coffee, whether it has to be added with milk powder, whatever the customer preferences has to be analyzed. Then identify the market gaps. See, the filter coffees are abundant in South India, but it is not abundant worldwide. So you have to analyze the market gaps. In India, the instant coffee with coupled with milk powder and sugar is not available. It is very costly. But it is in the foreign markets. It is very widely available. So you have to assess the demand, and according to the demand, you have to assess the market gaps. It should be elaborately mentioned in the DPR, and the opportunity assessment will comes along with the market gap. For the determined market gap, we should know the what is the opportunity available. The technical feasibility contains 5 parts. One is the production process analysis. How are we going to produce the determined project? And next one is what is the technological requirements? See, we might think of grinding a coffee beans into the coffee powders, but how we are going to do the technological requirement, how we are going to bring the machineries to the into the project. And third one is infrastructure needs. What are the infrastructure needs? We might need solar dryer for drying the coffee beans. So what are all the infrastructures need? We have to analyze before starting the project itself. That should be mentioned clearly, along with the machineries and the equipment list for the infrastructure and the technology needs with respect to the technical expertise. And financial projections. There comes our key player in the detailed project report. This revenue, cost, profitability estimates has to be determined with respect to the products, and detailed financial statements has to be estimated. And what is the capital requirements for the machineries, capital fundings, everything has to be estimated. And what are all the sources of, either you can go with the loan or you can go with any kind of fundings, any kind of venture capitalists, whatever things you are going to go, you have to be clarity, you have to mention it in your DPR. The implementation and plan timeline is the key player in the every detailed project report. You should have a Gantt chart or whatever timeline you are going to mention, you should clearly mention, but don't exceed your timeline which you are prescribing in the DPR. So this is the final stage of the analysis, that is risk analysis and mitigation strategies. See, whatever products we can design and develop with respect to the problem that is occurring today, but before getting into mass production or into a business, you should identify risk identification and risk assessment, risk matrix and mitigation strategies, monitoring risk, and report and review has to be clearly mentioned into the DPR. See, either way it can go. See, now today there is a huge rain in Tanjavur. So what might happen if you are planning a coffee plantation or coffee company inside Tanjavur? You don't have, if you are having a solar dryer, it might affect your entire production. So you have to identify the risk. You have to do the SWOT analysis. Everybody should might have came across your SWOT analysis before doing your project or any other business. What is SWOT analysis? It is a strength, weakness, opportunities, and threat analysis in with respect to the whatever conditions we are doing, and sustainability and environmental impact, that should be clear in the DPR. What is this project is going to do in the environment? What this project will give benefit to the environment? Ecologically, what will its footprint, and how are we going to do the waste management practices while manufacturing, minimizing the environmental harm? We might go with our packaging strategies, might be a polythene or by non-biodegradable packaging, but we have to minimize the environmental harmness. And finally, sustainable practices should be encouraged. And this part is the key part of your product. It should be clearly mentioned in the DPR how we are going to maintain the quality standards, how we are going to give the controlled processes and testing methods, what we are going to prefer, and what are all the equipments needed for this testing, and the budget should contain the quality and assurance equipments budget. Okay, so this is.
Thank you so much, sir, for such a detailed presentation.
Yes, thank you.
We'll be moving on to the next session on entrepreneurs experience sharing. For this session, I would like to invite Mr. C.S. Nitin, Managing Partner, Kothas Coffee, Bangalore. Sir has completed his bachelor's degree in industrial engineering and also MBA in entrepreneurship from Stewart School of Business, Chicago. He has been instrumental in driving growth and innovation in the beverage industry. Sir has joined Kothas Coffee & Co., a family business known for its quality filtered coffee, and has spearheaded its growth across various channels. Kothas Coffee operates 65 retail stores across South India, catering to nearly 2,700 clients worldwide. Sir has introduced innovative products like ready to drink cold coffee, which has become a breakthrough in the category. We welcome you to this webinar, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Let me share my screen. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. To just begin, thank you, ma'am, for giving a brief introduction about myself. I'm the third generation in the family business, taking the business forward with providing innovative products in coffee. So to just begin with, I'll brief about a bit about coffee and move into the manufacturing process and move into the avenues of how coffee is being marketed by our company and by most of the industries across. So to begin with, right, I feel coffee in the world, after water, it is the most highly consumed beverage in the world. And coffee as per se is a highly traded commodity in the market. We see as a country in India, we are a tea drinking country. And for the longest time, people have only been exposed to instant coffees, which was available. Sorry, ma'am? Yeah.
No, sir, no, sir, you can go ahead.
Yeah. So for the longest time, a lot of consumers across the length and breadth of our country, we were exposed only to tea, followed with only instant coffee. Now, instant coffee, why? Because of the convenience of making a cup of coffee. You just heat milk or heat water, put the instant coffee, and you're good to go. So, this was the culture that was going on for the longest time. And during the late 90s, that is around 1997, 1998, is the advent when brands like Coffee Day in India really popularized the Western culture of coffee drinking within our country. Now, they were a brand which were able to educate the masses of our country with what coffee is and what are the various types of coffees that's available. Now, this was the start of a revolution of coffee in our country where people started saying that, I want to have a cup of coffee. Now, this is how global economies are going on, and this is how coffee came into our country. Now, moving forward, I think everyone over this extensive sessions know that you mainly have two varieties of coffee, which is the Arabicas and Robustas. Now, just to give a small brief, we grow close to almost around anywhere close to around 380,000 tons of coffee in our country. And predominantly, a majority of that is Robustas, and a minority of that is Arabicas. Now, moving forward, the differences between Arabicas and Robustas, I'm sure there's a lot of insights put in by the previous people who have spoken in the session from the morning. But the Arabica, right, it gives you a nice mouthfeel, it gives you a nice flavor, you get a nice, good flavor notes in Arabicas. Robustas, it just gives you, like the name says, the robustness in the coffee. It is what makes you feel that cup of coffee in your lingering in your mouth for the longest time. Now, coming with the manufacturing process. Now, see, in India, over the period of time, we have been growing coffee and exporting a lot of coffee. Now, when I said in my previous slide that we grow close to almost around 380,000 tons of coffee, in India, you'll be surprised to note that we consume hardly only 25 to 30% of what we are growing. The balance, 70 to 75%, is exported to the rest of the world. So this has been the biggest thing, and slowly, like when I said, when companies like Coffee Day had started popularizing the word coffee across a tea drinking nation of India, people started buying more coffee. People started saying that, okay, let me have a little more coffee. That's how the consumption has slowly grown, but it's not grown to those numbers which could really state that we are using what we are growing. Now, as the manufacturing process goes, the coffee begins with, first and foremost, you harvest the coffee. We have only one crop in India. So there is only one harvest in India. So December is when we start harvesting our coffee, which is grown for the whole year. And that coffee is used for the rest of the year in the country, and it's exported, used internally. Now, after harvesting, the first process that we go into is curing. I presume Dr. Gopinathan has spoken about the harvesting and the machinery available for harvesting, and furthering to which I'm hoping that he's touched a bit about the curing process. Now, the next one is the selection, the roasting, grinding, and packing. I'll take you to each one as we go. Now, in the curing, what happens is the two varieties of coffees that we have, Arabica and Robusta, can either be dry processed or it can be wet processed. Now, based on the dry processing and wet processing, the profile of the coffee changes. When I say profile, the easier term to say is the taste of the coffee is different. Now, when you do it, when you call it a cherry coffee, where the outside, the coffee shell is not removed, in that one, what happens is you have a nice, good fruity taste that's coming. So you have different kinds of nuances that come up based on the kind of processing that's happened. Now, as a company, whatever anybody wants, based on these processes, if you understand the nuances, you can buy and use those varieties of coffees to fit into the kind of profile you want to make. Now, after coffee curing has happened, the most important step that comes in after that is the grading that the coffee curing works do. Now, whether it's washed Arabicas, whether it's unwashed Arabicas, and vice versa, the washed and unwashed Robustas, they are graded. When I say graded, it's nothing but the size of the bean. The most largest bean, we call it a double A. And then you have an A, then you have a B, you have a C, and then you have a P berry. Now, normally in one berry of coffee, you have two beans, coffee beans inside. But a pea berry, you have only one bean inside. And the pea berry, normally people say it gives you that nice, good aroma in that cup of coffee. That's what it does. So these grades of coffees, again, one is trying to see how you can use the coffees from dry processing and wet processing. Another differentiation that you can bring is by using the different type of grades of coffee that is available under all those four categories. Now, the next step that we get into is the selection process for the coffee. Now, after having so many kinds of coffees that's available in the market, now you need to pick it up. You need to see what fits for your personal requirement. So what we do over here is, as any other industry, like you go in for wine, the wine tasting happens in a similar way we do coffee tasting. So 100 grams of coffee samples are received from these curing works. We roast these samples. It's placed across a table, and we prepare a black coffee liquor out of it, which is standard processes that Coffee Board has designed and the world over follows. And we take a slurping spoon. You can see a spoon also, which is kept on the table, where you take a spoonful and you slurp the coffee, and you see the profile of the coffee that's given. Now, every year we have to understand that coffee is not the same year after year. The weather conditions change, the farm conditions change. So, with all these permutation combination, it becomes very crucial at this stage for us to decide what kind of coffee you are taking, to make sure the end quality of the end profile, the end taste is not altered. Now, going into the next process. The next process is the roasting. This is nothing but the entire heart of coffee. All right. Whatever we do, one side, the planter grows the coffee, the curing works cleans the coffee. Now you've got a good coffee bean lying with you. The most important process is roasting. Now, roasting, what happens is, I've put in a couple of pointers where we say that we take it up to 550 degree Fahrenheit. So I would say it's around, sorry, we take it anywhere between 300 to 400 degrees centigrade. This is the temperatures the coffee is roasted. Now you can see I have put 4 colors of roast over here, right from a light roast all the way up to a dark roast. Now, each 4 variants of coffee, which I mentioned earlier, can create different kind of tastes when it's roasted in different profiles or different colors, when I'm saying over here. Now, what does this roasting happens? It's nothing but how we, any chef is preparing a dish in his kitchen. Now, over here, what you're doing is, coffee, you roast it to a particular temperature, it gives you a particular taste. You take it further higher, the taste changes. This is something that we have to learn, and you have to learn by trial and error and figure out where roasting stops. Now, this is as far as the intricacies of roasting. Now, coming to people who are manufacturing machines for roasting, we have from the beginning trusted with German technology for roasters. They have managed to really crack the code for providing the best and the most sustainable and replicatable batch after batch for roasting. So Germans are known for their roasting facilities. Today, for your information, all these German companies have their offices in India. You can contact them, you can speak to them. They have different sorts of equipment that they have, which can suit anyone for the requirement that they have. Apart from that, I'm also been told that there are certain trials that can be done in the Atal Incubation Center at the Coffee Board, which has been created, where people can work with different roasters that they have kept over there to understand how these technologies work. Now, roasters also, what happens is, there are many manufacturers from Switzerland, from Germany, from Italy. Now, each of this roaster works on a different mechanism. Now, you heat it, the way you heat it, the amount of temperature you give it, and the time you roast it defines everything. And every manufacturer has some specialty because of which he's able to create a different profile for roasting. Now, after roasting, it is best to keep the coffee without packaging for around 72 hours, after which we have learned as a company from our experience of 75 years to pack it or package it so that we are retaining the good nuances of the coffee. Now, post the roasting, you jump into the grinding process. Now, in grinding, what happens is, I have shown 3 levels of grind over here, which is the coarse, medium, and fine. Now, grinding again is very important. Again, to state, grinding again is mastered by there are companies in America, Germany, and Switzerland who have mastered the technology over here. Now, when you look at this coffee bean, right, grinding is so important where the aroma, see, every time the one thing that calls us back to a cup of coffee is that aroma that you smell every single time you're sipping that coffee. And for that aroma, this grinding process is very important because you stopped it at the roasting level and then we control it at the grinding level. Now, the aroma is there in every layer of this coffee. So, when you take this bean, aroma is not there in the entire bean. Aroma is there in every layer of that coffee bean. So, these technologies that are available worldwide allows you to remove layer by layer of that coffee shell that is roasted to give you that powder which has aroma in every grain of it. So this is the next thing. And after grinding, normally by experience again, industry standard says that you can keep it for 48 hours. We keep the coffee powder put in eco-tight bags or stainless steel containers for around and overnight around 8 to 12 hours, and then we package it the next day. The main reason we don't want it to oxidate further, and this way you can extend the shelf life and extend the aroma to stick on for a longer time. Now, after grinding, we had our, I think, Professor Mr. Ponukumar, who's highlighted about the different varieties of packaging machines. And in fact, I showcased the form fill machine, which he highlighted about in his presentation. So you have different varieties of packaging machines available in our own country. We have great technologies, great solutions available at good pricing in our own country. And also, the other thing I would also want to say over here is as far as packaging is concerned, you can avail packaging in a lot of companies are there who are ready to give you bags ready to use. Now, earlier, what used to happen is we need to invest in a lot of packaging material, get it printed, you have to have your branding, your statutory requirement, hold huge stocks, and block your cash flow. That is not the situation anymore. Right now, there are technologies from Hewlett Packard, that is the HP printers. There are digital printers. There are flexo printers where you can buy material quantities close to even 100 kilos, which is bags. You can manually pack it, or you can pack it over the machines. And if you look around, a lot of companies have ample technologies to help any startup or anyone to work with these kind of technologies. Now, moving to the next thing on sustainability, what is it that you can do? Now, we have a manufacturing facility where we are close to close packaging around 25 to 30 tons of coffee every day. Now, how do you make it sustainable? Because you don't want to be a landfill again in the country. So, we use a lot of solar power. 40% of power that we use for our manufacturing is generated by solar power. This balance 60% also we are slowly trying to see how we can start making it through solar. The next biggest waste that we generate as an industry is the coffee husk. So when you roast the coffee, we generate a lot of coffee husk. And when you consume coffee, you generate a lot of the spent coffee powder, which is there, which we just throw out. Now, as an industry, we were thinking, how do we use it? How do we make some sustainability out of the system? So, over the period of time, we worked with CSIR in Kerala, and we were able to crack a process with food oil to make plates and cups out of spent coffee powder and coffee husk, where it is lined with a small layer of oil, edible food oil, so that the it doesn't the food or the coffee doesn't penetrate through. We have done initial levels of trials. We're going to take it more commercial, so this way even the spent powder is being used and it can be further reused. The next part I would like to go is what is it that we see in the market trends? We all spoke about, so many speakers speaking about the ways to process, the way to get funding, the way to get, packaging solutions and submitting reports for various kind of, sorry, registrations. Now, the market trends that we have seen in the recent, I've put it across as 4 market trends. One is an FMCG market. When I say an FMCG market, this is nothing but our supermarkets that's available in each and every city, our kirana stores, the mom and pop stores that's there, and of late, the advent of e-commerce, like our Amazons, our big baskets, and everything that's available. So these are certain channels where we can sell, and we have, as a company, we have been focusing on pushing our products. What is the next category that's available is the cafes. Over the period of time, we have seen the best way to bring a consumer into your foothold is to make the consumer taste the coffee. It need not be a specialty coffee. It need not be something. It's something that you have created with what is available in our country. And I am sure there is someone who will like the taste that we have created. And cafes is a point where you can make the consumer come and try the coffee, where it gets converted into that consumer trying to buy that pack of coffee powder to use it back in his house. Now, there are multiple formats. We've been seeing a huge outburst in our country where cafe chains like Starbucks, I think coffee chains like AB Coffee, Third Wave Coffee, Blue Turquoise, and many other smaller chains coming up. These are bigger coffee chains which are giving people places to sit, a kind of an ambience, a kind of, total experience. But what, as a company, we have seen, there's also a huge market in tier 2, tier 3 cities where people want a good cup of coffee, where I'll say that, number in Tamil, they say, right, the local tea kada irukke, we'll go and have a cup of tea. So I feel a lot of people want to grab a cup of coffee or tea while they are moving without much drama, which is allowed, and most importantly, which is more economical. So, as a company, we have models which is varying from hardly around 150 to 200 square feet, where we just provide coffee in the form of hot and cold, coupled with a couple of snacks like cookies or some fried snacks like tatai sidai and all that. And the second model, which is 500 square feet, we provide people with certain other snacks, which is South Indian savories like samosas, bhajis, and pakoras. Then you have the third variant, which is a signature store where you give them experience, make the people sit down, make them drink the coffee, and it's a whole experience where they're enjoying the whole mood of the South Indian coffee. The third avenue where, as a company, we have progressed is corporates. Now, as an individual, every one of us consume probably 1 cup or 2 cup at home. Then we consume another 2 cups minimum outside of our house. It could be in a cafe, or it could be in our office, or it could be in an office that you visited where the guest, they have offered you coffee or tea. So corporate solutions is something which has grown phenomenally in our country. People want to have different options of coffees and teas. I will run you in my future slides of how, as a company, we have cracked how to provide tea and filter coffee to our consumers. Last but not the least, exports. Now, having been exposed as a country and as a company in India to the technologies which is available world over, the biggest thing that we can do is we are exporting so much of coffee in the raw material state. When I said 75% of our coffee is exported, when you have the technology, there are a lot of people who would want you to process the coffee and send it to them as per their profiles. So that's a huge opportunity. And as a company, what we have seen, being a South Indian brand and being something which we grew with filter coffee, there are Asians across the world, Indians across the world who still want to pay, savor a cup of filter coffee. So as a company, we are available in most and all of the Indian stores in most of the countries like America, the Middle East, Singapore, Malaysia, Australia. Now coming to the next part, which is I showed you in this slide about the different avenues and market trends that's there. Now, what do you sell in these market trends? One is we always had instant coffee in our lines, which I've not mentioned over here. I've only started with filter coffee. Now, from filter coffee, as a market, the market has matured into the Western habits of cappuccinos, Americanos, lattes, and espressos, and frappes, cold coffees, and everything. The fourth one, today, the new age kids, the millennials that we call, they want to have different concoctions they want to make out of coffee. So they want to add coffee with coconut milk, they want to add coffee with ice cream. They're coming up with crazy new ideas and mixes that they can use it with coffee. So these are the kind of categories where coffee, over the years, it's grown in our country, and it's good to have it in your portfolio. And we have grown in this. We have kept a bit of this in our portfolio. Now, health benefits. I feel it's already been touched about by most of the speakers. It boosts our energy levels. It helps with weight loss. Reduces risk of cancer. There are a lot of studies that's been done world over to show the benefits of coffee. Now, just to give you a brief about Kotas, we have been in Kotas for close to almost around, this is our 75th year of being in existence. We take care of one thing, which is your sourcing, followed with which you're roasting, grinding, packing, and selling. Once this is taken care, and once we don't compromise on these levels, I think the rest is left to your consumer to come back to you again and again. Now, as products, as kind of offering we do, one thing you can see is you can have a line of powders. So these are filter coffee powders, including pure coffee ranges that you have. Then we offer the same thing for the hotels, followed with which you also have roasted coffee beans. Now, the trend in a lot of places like your corporates, they have automatic vending machines where they just pour the beans into the machine and you have a good Western style of coffee, of cappuccinos and all that that's consumed. Now, this is a new innovation that's come up where it's called we call it the Swanson Blues, but the market knows it by the name Easy Pour. You have a filter paper, you pack it with around a finely ground coffee powder, 10 to 15 grams, pour hot water, and you have the coffee liquor collecting in the glass below. Now, this is picked up fast, it's easy to consume, and it's a good product when you're moving around. The next thing that we have done is coffee decoctions. I remember Mr. Ponukumar talking about decoctions and how we can package decoctions. The most important is to stabilize a decoction. We have so many brands which have come out with decoction options in the country, but the biggest concern is stabilizing it. Now, in a fast moving pace of work we have every day, where the husband and wife are working, and most of the times we want everything fast. So we create this decoction range also, where it's extracted, stabilized in a particular way, where no matter what, even for 12 months, the product is stabilized and it's good to consume. The next thing that we did is your cold coffees. So the cold coffee range that we launched in 2020 apparently got hit by the COVID and we had to again come back. We are the only company in the country which uses pure coffee extracts in our cold coffees. Now, India as a country, we are a predominantly milk drinking country. Our coffees are mixed with milk, mixed with coffee concentrate and aroma, along with 100% natural coffee extracts and 100% natural flavors. Now, the main thing over here is you don't need a cold chain. You can just chill the product and drink it when you want to drink. And it's not instant coffee, it's pure coffee extract. So it gives you a taste which is equivalent to a frappe that you're having outside. Now, this is a new innovation we've done. We have put it up in all the supermarkets and we're seeing a good traction where the millennials, where the new age people want to stick to something on the cold line, cold beverage line. The next thing is the gadgets, the huge number of gadgets. I'm sure I've just showcased a couple like the mocha pot, our traditional filters, electric filters, but there are a lot more available in the market. Now, this is something which I wanted to show you all, which is with regards to the vending machines. Now, if you look at to the top left corner, this black box which is over here is a completely designed, manufactured machine in India where it can churn out close to almost around 1,000 plus cups of coffee or tea a day. This makes coffee and tea with fresh milk over here, wherever it's kept. The second machine, which is in the center, is a bean to cup machine for your cappuccinos, your lattes, and everything. The third machine, which has just been launched last month, is what we are doing with the coffee decoctions. You saw in my previous slide, I had spoken about the coffee decoctions. You have coffee decoctions here, along with milk, which is fresh milk, which is being heated, which gets mixed, and we get a good cup of filter coffee. Last but not the least, at the bottom, we've also created the Nespresso pods, where we want to give you Nespresso machines with filter coffee, where you're still able to get a coffee extract out of it, put hot milk, and it's still a good cup of coffee that you are having. And this is the kind of ranges that of machines that's available and manufactured in India to cater to the market. This is all that I had, and please feel free to ask me any questions that you have.
Thank you so much, sir. It's really very interesting presentation about the Kothas Coffee and Co. So we came to the end of the technical sessions. One more session is the last technical session, which is on PMFME scheme guidelines and features. It was supposed to be taken by Dr. V.R. Sinija madam. Unfortunately, madam was in one important meeting. So myself, I'll be handling the session. So you all may be aware of this scheme. This is the centrally sponsored scheme implemented by Ministry of Food Processing Industries, which is Prime Minister Formalization of Micro Food Processing Enterprises. So the scheme objective is providing increased access in terms of loan by the existing micro food processing entrepreneurs. It further aims in supporting FPOs, that is farmer producer organizations, self-help groups, and also the cooperatives. It also aims at providing professional technical handholding support to the micro enterprises, which will be helpful in formalizing the micro food processing sector. So then it also focuses on strengthening of the institutions at the state level, district level in the food processing sector, and developing increased common services like incubation facility at district level. It is also one of the key components of this scheme. Till now, around 76 incubation centers are approved under this scheme, which will be functioning at the different districts at the state level, which will be explained briefly in the upcoming slides. So the scheme also envisages on formalizing the unorganized micro enterprises, that is FPOs and SHGs, to make investment and upscale their operations. Thereby, it supports for the transition of existing 2 lakh enterprises into formal framework. So this is the scheme features, that is it's based on the ODOP approach. One district, one product, it is allotted by the ministry, but now we can submit applications on ODOP also and non-ODOP also. So the total outlay of the scheme is 10,000 crore for a period of 5 years. It was first fixed at 2024 to 2025, but it is further extended to March 2026. So you can also able to submit applications till 2026. So you can see the sharing pattern also, whereas Government of India MFPA directly implementing this scheme along with state nodal officials and district level partner also. So these are all the benefits of this scheme. Funding support can be provided for the upgradation of existing micro units as well as new units in terms of credit linked subsidy of 35% with a maximum ceiling of 10 lakh rupees. In that, beneficiary contribution should be around a minimum of 10% of the project cost, with the balance amount being availed as loan from the bank. In addition, seed capital support is also available to the self-help groups up to 40,000 rupees. And there is a state level marketing and branding support around 50% of the grant for the government organization. So they can apply for the common brand under the scheme. And also there is a support for establishing common incubation center. Currently, we are not accepting any applications for establishing the common incubation center. So there is no age limit and educational qualification required to apply under this scheme. Existing units as well as new units who want to establish their food industry, they are also eligible to apply. So the enterprise will be eligible for the loan even if bank loan availed in any other central or state government schemes. Then, as I said earlier, beneficiary contribution should be around a minimum of 10% of your project cost. So how we can proceed with the application? So all existing units or new individual units have to apply under this scheme through the online portal of Ministry of Food Processing Industries. So for group application, they can apply with the detailed project report. As Kishant Murali sir has already told us about how to prepare the DPR. So same kind of detailed project report we need to submit to the ministry for group application as well as the individual application. Then for availing marketing and branding support, it can be channelized to state nodal agencies. They will be putting up the proposal to the ministry and the further approval process will be followed. The next important component is capacity building support, that is training support, which involves providing training to all the stakeholders of the scheme in form of two aspects, that is food processing training and entrepreneurship development. Under these two aspects, we are providing trainings. So first one is the product specific training. It will be focused on the domain knowledge, machineries involved, packaging aspects, value addition with respect to micro enterprises, marketing and branding. Then entrepreneurship development focus on functional aspects of running a business involving various business opportunities, that is DPR preparation, which is the most important factor because this DPR plays a major role not only in this scheme and also any other central or state government schemes, how to prepare the DPR, what are the components which should be involved in the DPR. That will be because this DPR will be talking your project. Like based on the DPR only, your project will be sanctioned under any other schemes of the government. Okay, so this DPR preparation is also covers under the entrepreneurship development training. So the majority of the training will be conducted in online mode, whereas the beneficiary trainings are conducted in the physical mode. Even online and offline mode, both are available. Then these are the food subsectors under which we are providing master level trainings. So these master level trainings will be conducted by various national level research institutions. Basically, this national level apex institutes will be the NIPTEMs or NIPTEM Tanjavur and NIPTEM Kundli and even CFTRA Mysore, SIFT, Cochin, etc. Based on the whatever domain they are taking care, they will be providing the training. So once these master trainers are qualified at the state level, these MTs will provide training to the district level officials like district level trainers and district resource persons. So this district resource person plays a major role under this scheme because he will be responsible for preparing the DPR and also he will guide you till the application sanctioning process. Okay. So when you are going to approach the bank also, he will be guide you. So this district resource person will be trained by the master trainer and we no need to pay any amount to the DRP person because ministry will be paying them amount in two installments. Like you can see in the screen, 50% of the payment would be made after sanction of bank loan. Then 50% will be made before approval process. So these are all we have developed different products under this scheme. I can take you to the website also. This is the home page of the PMFME scheme of NIPTEM Tanjavur. In this you can see different tabs. Under this training material ODOP, you can see different subdomains. For example, if you are going to food, fruit and vegetable processing, under this we have uploaded so many products which will be covered under this domain. If you click on any of the products, then whole PowerPoint presentation about. Sorry, I couldn't see that my screen is not visible. I hope this is now visible to everyone. So this is the home page of the PMFME scheme. So under this training material ODOP tab, you can see all the subdomains like fruits and vegetable processing. If you click on this domain, you can see multiple products we have developed and uploaded for the benefit of beneficiaries. So for guava juice processing, if you click on this, you can see PowerPoint presentation on processing technology and also the video, how it is processed. Basically, We have our own food processing business incubation center. So we have many pilot plans also. We are providing trainings to the entrepreneurs, micro level and macro level entrepreneurs. So all the things are processed here and we have uploaded. Then packaging technology, like what are the advanced packaging technology that can be used for any food product, that is also uploaded here. Then what are all the food safety standards you need to follow, like including preservatives, what is the permissible limit and how it should be under the GMP or GHP, that is good manufacturing practices, or how good hygienic practices should be followed, and what are the good laboratory practices should be followed. All the things as per FSSA we have uploaded here. Then coming to the DPR, this is detailed project report, because anyway district resource person will be going to prepare the DPR, but you have to have the basic knowledge on how the DPR will look like. So for this purpose, we have uploaded the model DPR. It will be available for all the products which we have developed. This also you can make use of it. Then course material. This is the whole thing, like from processing to till the machinery suppliers details. It will be all available under this course material tab. Then we can also develop the in the regional languages also. This is ODOP webinar materials tab. Whatever the webinars we are conducting every month, that will be available here in the recorded version. This webinar will also be uploaded in the coming weeks. You can also make use of it. Then regarding the scheme guidelines also, you can download and see what all the financial support which ministry is providing. Then coming to the incubation support, around 76 incubation centers are approved till now. For example, if you are taking Tamil Nadu, Tanjavur, one incubation center is approved under Sastra University. In that, coconut processing, cashew and bakery product processing line is available. Even the individual entrepreneurs and also farmer producer organization, they can also bring their raw materials. They can process it here using this facility. So this facility is available all over India. You can see in which states this facility is also available. This is also for the benefit of beneficiaries our ministry has implemented under this scheme. So this is about the common incubation facility. In that facility, primary processing till tertiary processing and packaging storage facilities also available. And in the food testing laboratory, these are the normal food testing equipments available for the preliminary testing of the materials or products. And how to apply under this scheme. This is our Ministry of Food Processing Industries website. You can directly go at pmfme.myfpa.gov.in. In this, under this login tab, you can see three tabs: applicant registration, new user, and applicant login, registered user. Okay, for new user, you can click on this tab. So this new registration form will appear. On filling the details, you can log into your application form. So all these process will be done by the district resource person. So those district resource person contact details also will be available here. If you click on this contact details of district resource person, then overall the DRP available all over India, state wise it will appear. You can take the contact details also, and even the state nodal agency. If you are going for any marketing and branding support proposal, then you have to channel it through the state nodal agency. So this state nodal agency's contact details, email IDs will be available here. So this is all about the PMFME scheme and our NIFTM website and MYFPI website. If you have any queries also, you can post in the chat box. And even you can reach out to us in the NIFTM Tanjavur. We are here, the project management unit of PMFME. You can also reach out to us. Thank you so much for the patient listening. So we came to the conclusion of the webinar. On behalf of NIPTEM Tanjavur and PMFME team, I extend my sincere thanks to all the speakers of the technical session for sharing their valuable insights on this platform. Then I thank all the participants who joined with us today for their constant support and cooperation for conducting these kind of webinars. So apart from all the technical glitches, the participants are very cooperative till the end of the webinar. So thank you so much for that. The recorded video of the webinar will be uploaded on the NIPTEM portal. And also there is no certificate for this webinar since it's a free webinar we'll be conducting every month for the promotion of the scheme and also for the benefit of the PMFME beneficiaries or non-PMFME beneficiaries also. So no certificates will be provided. Any other queries also, you can directly send mail to this pmfme@ifpt.edu.in. Thank you so much for joining with us today. We are closing the webinar now. Thank you all.